How do you see this playing out, Mr. Sundaram? I mean, politically, certainly it looks like it's a shot in the arm for the BJP. There are crucial state elections ahead. There's the Patidar community, for example, in Gujarat that has been protesting and agitating for quotas. But could the demand for a caste-based census actually create more headaches?
Well, it should not. The BJP is just extending its sort of scheming and trickery. And I say this with the utmost respect to everybody here, because the real problem has been, Nidhi, that over the last many years, since the idea of the first, social economic caste-based census was mooted almost 10, 12 years ago, by not holding the caste census, but nevertheless by going ahead with the 103rd constitutional amendment, the BJP has pulled a fast one over the courts and the constitution. Really, the disappointing elements today were threefold. Firstly, with regard to the court, the fact that this verdict today was delivered almost after 4 years, by which time most of the states had started implementing the economic weaker section reservation, I think itself was problematic. It's disappointing that this judgment today contains numerous observations which are not at all part of the discussion or deliberation or the contentions of the petitioners. With regard to the actual case itself, the fact that this is being treated as a poverty alleviation scheme is extremely unconstitutional. Reservation is not a poverty alleviation mechanism. Reservation was implemented to address representation or lack thereof. I think there's a fundamental lack of understanding by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and I would say to a certain extent by today's judgment, that reservation is seen as some sort of a economic welfare scheme. And thirdly, the problem with the constitutional problem is threefold again. Firstly, economic criteria is barred by law. It is hit by ambiguity. Today, you could be making 7 lakhs a year. Tomorrow, you could be making 9 lakhs a year. Yeah. It doesn't mean it changes. And as you rightly point out, caste is something that is structural and it is a consequence of systematic discrimination. I don't think that they've understood that. Secondly, reservation has always dealt with class poverty. By class poverty, I mean when an entire group, a caste group or a communal group is by and large poor or socially, educationally backward, as the Constitution says, only then have we invoked reservation, not to determine family or not to alleviate family poverty or individual poverty as the 103rd Amendment does. And finally, by doing so, by tweaking the Constitution, by tweaking aspects of reservation, 103rd Amendment has made our Constitution virtually unrecognizable and therefore is in violation of the basic structure and the diktat of Keshavanand Bharati. So therefore, again,
right.
This is a temporary...
I see your arguments there.